So you don't want to have a midlife crisis. Trust me, none of us do. It's so gross. Nobody wants to be that guy or that guy. You want to stay fresh. You want to stay relevant for the rest of your life. So if you want to completely avoid having a midlife crisis, and this is coming from somebody who just turned 40, I know what I'm talking about. Then please watch this video so that you can avoid getting crusty and old before your time. My name is Andrew Love, and it is my job on this channel to help you reclaim your mind, heart, body, and soul so that you can be an unstoppable force of good in this world. Are you feeling pumped? So I really want to talk about this because I just turned 40 years old. Like I said, I keep on saying it because I'm coming to grips with it. And there's something that happens to everybody when they reach around this age. You start to really question, what have I done with my life? What am I doing with myself? What's my future look like? And for some people, it creates a great deal of anxiety. They look back and they feel like the best days were behind them. They're just gonna get older and crustier as they get older. And I just wanna get into some details about what is a midlife crisis, because my friend's dad went through the most quintessential midlife crisis you could ever imagine. It's like he had a checklist of the worst things that you can do to completely lose your mind when you get midlife. He left his family, first of all. He had a wife and 2 kids. He just left them with a letter saying, I've been meaning to do this for a while, and he just completely left. Then he ended up moving in with his secretary into a condo downtown, bleached his hair, started wearing Hawaiian t-shirts, and bought a convertible. It's so lame. And so you're wondering, like, why did this happen? He just turned another age. It's just a number. And while yes, that is true, age is just a number, there's associations that we have with certain numbers. If you're 16 or if you're 75, it's kind of a number, but you're also getting physically older. And that scares some people. And when people are scared, they make bad decisions. But when you look at somebody like my friend's dad who went through this ridiculous midlife crisis, those things that he did were just symptomatic of what was really going on inside. What was happening within him was the fact that he felt like the best days were behind him and he wanted to recreate the magic of the past. So he went into his mind or his heart and into this childish little part of him that said, if you just look young, you can feel young again. And young kids, they bleach their hair and they wear Hawaiian t-shirts and they drive convertibles. I don't know why that's an old person's voice. And although the symptoms may change from person to person, the driving motivator to be relevant is the same in all midlife crises. So the best way to avoid a midlife crisis is to never get old. Being old means an internal perspective. I know 15-year-olds who are way older than me internally. They're crusty, they're old, they're cranky, they complain a lot, they don't like moving their body, they don't get along with people. I'm young and spry, even though I'm older in age physically. I am far more agile and limber in my mind and even in my body. I work out a lot, I take care of myself. I'm in better shape than a lot of teenagers, especially this day, especially in America. So the point is this, if you want to avoid a midlife crisis, you have to be relevant to yourself first of all. If you want to escape yourself, chances are you're gonna try to drift away into some fantasy land where you either live in the past or live in the future, but you're not gonna feel very comfortable in the present. And that's because you don't enjoy the thoughts in your head or the feelings in your heart. You'd have a spirit that's comatose and your body is probably not in the best shape that you would like it to be. So instead of trying to escape your present reality, you recreate it by first figuring out what it is that you want. What kind of thoughts do you want? What kind of emotions do you want? What kind of body do you want? Always moving your body, always moving your mind, learning new stuff, giving more helps to grow your spirit and your heart, and learning how to embrace new kinds of people definitely expands your heart. So we're people of perpetual expansion. If you're expanding, it means that you're growing, it means that you're learning, it means that you're recreating yourself constantly, and if you don't, you're dying. So we can tell that clearly in our body. If we stop moving our body, we start to get fat, we start to lose our shape, we start to feel bad about ourselves. But if you keep active, you are able to stay limber, stay a thriving entity. And the same is true with your mind, the same is true as your heart and your spirit. So just keep at it. Never stop moving, otherwise you will grow old, and you don't want to grow old, trust me. Midlife crisis is completely an internal event that has external symptoms, and you can avoid all of that by just being relevant and living a life of meaning and value to yourself, meaning like you're relevant to yourself by helping other people, by living outside of your comfort zone and constantly growing, and look what happens. You'll be young until the day that you die. And that sounds far better than going through a midlife crisis and having to get hair plugs or a face tattoo when you're 65. Know what I'm saying? Hit that like button. Tell your friends about this channel. We're here for you. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. It's been my pleasure, and I'll see you in the next video.